I was gone for a minute, but I'm back now. Yeah, even though I was still putting out content on TikTok and shorts out here and stuff. But anyways, I'm back with long form content. So, what's up, guys? It's your boy Kimbo here, and it's time for an epic unboxing. So, got this package here. Damn it. Open this shit up. You know it's about to get real, especially when I'm struggling to get the damn thing open. Yeah, okay, there we go. Come on. Okay. Yeah. There we go. All right. Oh, we got a bunch of stuff in here. All right, but we are going to start with... I got to start with this. You already know, man. So, starting with this bay here. Also got a glove on for homage to my girlfriend. She, found a glove. So I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to use this one along with the gold. But I had to start with this bay. Because it's the one, literally, when it even came out, everybody was messaging me. Everybody, their mom, dad, cat, dog, and pet chickens. Like, yo, Kimbo, yeah. But it's the epic Beyblade X CX03 Perseusdark B680W. So CX is here. This is the third one, but it's the first one I'm reviewing. You already know. Gotta. You see, the channel logo. Come on, man. This is direct homage to Gravity Perseus or Gravity Destroyer. The motif and everything is freaking dope. If I were to ever change my logo, it would be like a split thing, like how Left Versus does, like maybe half and half. I don't know, but like it'll never change from like the Perseus logo. This could be the possible add-on exception. Who knows? Time will tell. And hell, if somebody makes a cool enough design for it, maybe I'd use it. And of course, give props and credit and everything. But yeah. With that being said, CX is here, the custom X line. I remember people being like, yo, like freaking out about the X line. Like, is CX going to be like too OP or anything? I think they're still going to have a good balance with things. It's literally just different formats. BX, UX, CX, all being like same wavelength, strength-wise and everything, except just more diversity with, customization with the blade with CX. But Perseusdark up in here looking really, really sick. It's owned by Rance Roji, Mr. part of Team Zuganic. Definitely like a little bit of Julian Conzern vibes a bit with him. But yeah, Perseus in general. Just so cool. And the way it's designed, it's meant to like be defensive and absorb shock from any angle or dimension. The shape of it honestly reminds me of Nightlands a bit. But the way that is on the bottom, being a bit more defensive, but definitely I can imagine it being how it was for Gravity Destroyer, Gravity Perseus. More on the attack side with it, with how it's shaped, but it does look cool in general. Sorry, it's covered right there for the stats with the sticker. But Perseusdark, CX, and it shows how it's split up with it. Which I'll get into in a bit. But then 680 new ratchet, 14, 6, 10, and 80, and then we got W, which is wedge, 5, 55. 30, 10, and 30. And seeing wedge, I always saw it in burst, except it was made out of metal then. But even the homage with the name wedge. So yeah. But without further ado, let's get into it. I know, long intro, but y'all know I gotta explain shit, because I'm gonna give you the details and my thoughts and everything on it. Why the hell else would you be here if I didn't with that as well? But yeah, so need that code for damn sure. Gotta rack up some points. Try to win a damn Arrow Pegasus. But yeah. Yo, the bay. Alright. And got my handy dandy scissors here, so shouldn't be as tough to open this up. A bit easier. And, yo, that blade, that's a thick ass boy, bro. It's tall. It's pretty tall. Like the CX blades, they be a bit thick, so I see it being on the heavier side, probably mid high 30s weight-wise, which, like I said, not necessarily just because the bass heavier means it's better. Some bass being lighter helps them out, like the aerodynamicness with them, and using that speed with the right combos, and that's what makes it fun. So, here we go. Perseusdark up in here, so I gotta show how this thing split up. The overall look at this, it looks really, really freaking cool. So the motif right there, like I said, paying homage to Gravity Destroyer Perseus, it is. Like that design right there, yeah. And the top part of it definitely does remind me of it, because the overall shape, like the 3 blades right there, definitely reminds me of like Perseus or Destroyer in general from Metal Fight. And the shape of it, the outside reminds me a bit of Night Lance, you know, the 3 blades right there. And those notches in between. But yeah, kind of that type of defense. And then B, which, yeah, having the bumps right there. And it fills in the gaps at the bottom. So getting hit underneath, definitely making it where it'll be more defensive. But yeah, so gotta figure out the way of actually like taking these apart. Okay, so twist that. So this is how they're split up, and also the naming system for it. So this overall is Perseusdark B. So Perseus, going off of the lock chip with this. So Perseus, and then the main blade being dark. So yeah, this is dark right here, looking really, really cool. And also that they tattooed like the colors and everything on it is really, really cool. Like printed them on. But yeah, definitely see that. And then the assist blade, which is B. So yeah, this makes it where there's definitely more interchangeability and customization, you know, with the CX line. But put those together, line those up, push this in, and then I just kind of grab from the bottom and the top and then twist it, and that's what locks it in place. Really, really easy, man. So yeah, I know the thing with this being wondered, is it dual rotation? The answer is no. It is only to the right. But yeah, imagine if we got like an evolution or something for it, and it like went both directions or something like that. They're definitely just trying to keep the balance with things now, because like if they had like left rotation interchangeability with CX at this stage, they might see that as being OP. They're definitely trying to balance things out for sure. That's why we haven't seen that much left rotation. And I still stand, like, I believe there would be an Impact Dragoon. Like how we got Impact Drake, Impact, like imagine Impact Dragoon, because we got Cobalt Drake and Cobalt Dragoon. But they're definitely trying to balance things out, because like Dragoon combos can spin steal a little bit, but still having balance with like E and, you know, the burst resistance and everything with it. Yeah, so maintaining that balance. They're definitely just playing their cards smartly with this. So like left rotation and spin steal doesn't like run everything. And my doggos are in here with me. They just chilling, you know. Hello, how you doing? And he's just chilling over there, that boy Chase. But yeah, I think that's the main reason we haven't seen like dual rotation, you know, and even with like left spin, they're playing their cards smartly with it, you know. They want to maintain the balance with it. And even with CX being introduced in the customization, I don't think there's going to be like any crazy OP-ness with it. Like things are still going to be really, really balanced out with it. But yeah. So then we've got the ratchet, which is 680, having the 6 sides with it, new ratchet, those bumps and such. With I see it being pretty defensive. Probably will be like good for whatever you want to use it for, you know, like those bumps right there, possible attack combos. But it is a bit more like the round side, just having those bumps. So, you know, attack, defense, stamina, whichever you're honestly feeling for it. So yeah, get that. And then we've got the bit, which is wedge. I definitely learned from Burst's wedge, because they had wedge during Burst. It was a lot taller and made out of metal. It worked decently. But this one, definitely it's meant to stay more in one spot. But it's like a small kind of point with it. Yeah, maybe it'll make it where like counterattacks, you know, kind of like how Gear Needle is. Or, you know, like getting those big time hits in. It'll make it where like how the gears are sticking out, gonna go and get a major like counter attack if it does get on the extreme ridge. But yeah, this thing does look really, really sick. Perseusdark B 680W. It looks really, really dope. And plus the homage that it pays to even Gravity Destroyer Perseus, I think it was really, really freaking dope. But yeah, this thing looks sick. So you already know what time it is. All right, test launch time. So let's get into it. Also using the white launcher. Now, I stripped the gears on my other launcher because I battled with it so much. And it wasn't reading my launches with the Bay pointer, you know, with the Bay pass. So, yeah. 3, 2, 1, go. Shoot. Yo, spinning really stably. Yeah, definitely with CX, it's going to make it where, like, there's going to probably be more airflow and such with the bays, but there's still going to be a big-time balance. It's one of those things of, like, not going to be OP. Just adding to the game and diversity of the game. And that's one thing I really enjoy for sure. That we'll still get like UX based. I hope we still get BX based even, you know. But yeah, if they continue to put out BX based as well as UX based, and of course CX based coming out because that being the newest gimmick. But yeah, man, overall, Perseusdark looking really cool. Like I said, it's been really stably. It's one of the 3 members of Team Zodiac who seen as the strongest. So yeah, that's the test launch for Perseusdark. And like I said, I'm one of those people that like doesn't give a major shit about the weight. You know, obviously like having the weight and stuff with the heavier a bait is, the harder it's gonna hit, but also the slower that it is to get a startup. That's the thing. Like, it's a double-edged sword with it, which this really shows that off. But yeah, so I'll weigh the entire layer. I'm not gonna weigh it like piece by piece with each part of it. I'll just weigh it all together. Yeah, 37.59, so higher 30s, that's to be expected. But staying in that realm, like I said, as long as they stay in that realm of not going over like 40 like crazy or anything, like keep it high 30s, don't go to 40 or anything. They're maintaining the balance. They're trying to maintain balance while introducing new gimmicks and everything with it. And that's what we need to see for this. Maintaining the balance, because you want to be able to use stuff that even like you've seen during the first season, even though it's like season 2 and new gimmicks and everything. But making sure there's balance so that the previous stuff doesn't become obsolete and is still usable, but still showing off new gimmicks and everything. And yeah, I think this does that very, very well. How they're implementing CX. They're doing a good job of balancing things for sure. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this review on this epic Beyblade XCX03 Perseusdark B 680W. Hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to slice that like button down below. Let me know how I did. If you're new to my channel, definitely be sure to subscribe for some epic content because I upload daily. And if you haven't already, be sure to ring that bell by my channel name so you're notified whenever I upload a video. I know I haven't uploaded like long-term format content in weeks, like a bunch of it, you know, just been getting shit together with life and everything. And plus there was a time period to just slow down, kind of get out the clutter on the channel. So I made a bunch of playlists of like past videos and battles and legendary moments on the channel that I've done throughout the almost last 13 years. I made a bunch of playlists, so go and check it out. If you're interested in getting these bays, if you haven't gotten them already, or you know, looking forward to upcoming releases or anything, check out Mall of Toys. I got a discount code on there. It's Kimbo, like my channel name, K1MBO. Give you a nice discount off, and it honestly goes to help out and support things with the channel as well, and it's much appreciated. But I appreciate any support, regardless if I, you know, can words, dyslexia. But anyways, until next time, it is your boy Kimbo signing off. See you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Until then, stay awesome and go shoot. I'm up out of here.